Peace, my name is R Sun.
And I'm She Rose.
And we are
The You and I. So who are my hip hop teachers? I mean, honestly, I started breaking. I didn't start as an MC. So my earlier teachers were the homies that I started breaking with, my crew back in Miami. And then I think that like as a writer, I would probably say my sister and her man were the first people that I started writing with and doing music with. And we were young and, you know, not a lot of guidance, a lot of just like feeling things through. But I think that what I learned through that experience, and I think is still true today, is it's authenticity is important. And I think that that's something that sometimes can get lost. I think sometimes like we live in an era where it's so accessible to find training materials, to find a video on YouTube. And I think that part of what gets lost along the way is that seed of originality that makes you unique. I think sometimes people start to become the same patterns that they've seen other people do, and it never even occurs to people anymore that you can actually create something entirely unique. And really for me, I think that that's what hip-hop is about. Beyond that, I think over the years just working with Art Sin on all of his projects and eventually my own, I think I would consider him probably the most influential person when it comes to my music creation and the person whose opinion matters the most. I am very passionate about writing my own verses, but it's important to have someone who's got a good ear that you can trust to help you finesse whatever it is that you create and to bring out the best in you.
hip-hop teachers. We'll go through like, I guess like history, like my history. Like growing up, it was my cousins. They were street breakers out here in El Paso, Texas. We happen to be out here in El Paso, Texas. Those are like my first hip hop teachers. My stepbrother, and then it became like in high schools, like the homies, all the homies that were rapping, bombing, dancing. Like those were all like some of the teachers that I had when I was young. And then when I moved out of El Paso is when it got a little deeper, actually a lot deeper. I ran into a b-boy named Ivan, and then it was Style Elements and Rocksteady. I got to learn a lot from Mr. Wiggles, Mr. Freeze, and Smirk. And then Quality is probably like one of my most influential teachers. Quality from Style Elements, who taught me a lot in music and in breaking and in hip hop in general. So those were like probably like my biggest mentors. And then and also just me, just studying, being hungry, and not giving up, and pushing myself to be better than I thought I could be. And so, yeah, I'd have to give myself that, because not everybody has that self-drive, and I think that's an important key. And if you're chasing to be something or to do your thing, you gotta have the hunger to also like go out and learn. And so that's a lesson that you gotta take. And then lastly would be a creator and the ancestors that guide me along this journey. Those are my hip hop teachers.
The moment I knew I was going to pursue a life in hip hop, I love that, because I think that it definitely isn't just the music, it's hip hop. It's the whole culture, it's the community, it's all the bits and pieces that come with it. When I think about that question, I think about this the first time I ever heard the Scratch Pickles in New Orleans at this one event. And I think that it just hit me in a way that just really made me feel like for the first time in my life, like I heard the soundtrack of my soul. And I think that feeling is a feeling that I think you continuously chase once it catches you. That grit, that rawness of it. I think that's what I would say. It was the first time I heard the Scratch Pickles, and that just led me to more moments. Like, it wasn't always about music. It, of course, like turned into being about breaking. It turned into creating community events with other individuals. But I felt like that was the feeling that I was always chasing, is that one night, the first time I ever heard the Scratch Pickles.
Yeah, for me, the moment I knew it's a specific moment. It was out here in El Paso. I went to Mountainwood Theaters and I saw Beat Street, and I was already breaking for like 2 years, and I went to go see Beat Street in the movie theater, and to me, like, at being a youth and seeing that on the big screen, and it was like, you know, it's when you go see Superman and you come out of the theater as a young kid and you want to fly, like that's what you want to do. And when I saw Beat Street in the theater, and especially the breaking scene, the battle scene, when they go to the Roxy, like that moment, like, changed my world. And I knew, like, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. I remember walking out of the theater. I was with my mom, and I was like, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. And that was the story from then on. Like, my teachers, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna do hip hop for the rest of my life. And everyone thought I was crazy, but it was that specific moment. I think there's other moments throughout life that continue to push me and continue to, like, give me a boost, especially like being from the streets. And there was moments where I was going astray, and there was times where that pushed me, but it was that specific moment that I knew I'd be doing this for the rest of my life.
So what's my writing process? Honestly, it really depends. Like, there's moments where I've literally been in the middle of a meditation first thing in the morning, and I hear a line come through, or I hear a melody come through, and sometimes that'll lead me down a path where I'm just writing whatever is just flowing exactly as it's being downloaded in my head, and then I gotta go track someone down to create a beat for that. Other times, we collect our beats and then write for those beats. I think that first and foremost, when I'm writing to a beat, I think about how I want to deliver on the beat, and like, what does the beat ask for? And that'll change how I write, because I'm thinking about how I'm going to deliver on that beat. Honestly, I don't consider myself to be a hugely technical person in general. I think that in any aspect of my life, I've always been a lot more heart than technique. But technique is one of those things that I don't think that you can ever skip. But technique is a lot of things. Like, technique is not just, learning all of the different techniques that other people have created over time and trying to match what they've created into this one bar. I think that technique, like I said, is also hearing what is coming through. Like, how are you going to deliver that? Can you deliver that authentically? And building your performance technique. But your performance technique starts with your writing, right? So to be able to anticipate that as you're going through the process, and like I said, first and foremost, it's got to sound authentic to yourself. So that's where I always start. I start with, like, what feels authentic to me on this track right now.
Yeah, my writing process has changed throughout the years, from studying, like, tons of MCs and, like, the patterns that they wrote, and then I come from the era of, like, consciousness, and, like, I feel like hip hop's been my teacher throughout life, like, guided me in life, and I learned a lot from hip hop, not like my parents or like elders or or you know, like coming from like the hood or the street, like hip hop was the one that kind of led me out of the street. So conscious hip hop meant a lot to me. Hip hop meant a lot to me. So I try to like be authentic to hip hop and what hip hop is. So yeah, so it was like the process was like learning, studying MC, studying patterns. But right now where I'm at today is more just like channeling, like just allowing myself to be open. Like she said, we gather beats, and then I'll sit with it. I could sit with a beat all day and like listen to the same beat all day until the moment happens. And when the moment happens, I just write. It's like, let it be. And so I'm not necessarily chasing a pattern or chasing like the mathematics of it. I'm more like just downloading, and I just go, and like it's just happening as it's happening. And so that's more where I'm at right now. It's just more of like channeling in and tuning in to what the vibrations are telling me to write, and I just let go. I let go, and I allow myself to be free. And sometimes I'll go back and look at it and like refine it and touch it. But most of the time it's just like boom, just being free.
I think like to that point, I think that it starts with a feeling, but along the process, I do think about how do I bring this full circle? How do I complete, like as this idea is coming to me, how do I completely articulate that idea? You know, and from end to end, like that's kind of where it starts as like the writing process, and then like the rewriting and the editing and the refining. And, you know, it's like little bits by bits. Like sometimes you find yourself like, chopping up lines, cutting things down, and again, always with that idea of how does this come to life? But sometimes it just starts as like that download, and then you refine it until you get it to that point that you feel like, all right, like, yeah, this is ready for the booth.
Yeah, you know, for most importantly, I feel like I want to like, I'm trying to leave something for the people. I'm trying to like give them something, give them food for thought, and also like allow them to like hear something and feel like they heard the song maybe 100 times and then hear it again and hear something new.
So jewels for up and coming hip hop artists, I'm gonna give you two. One, again, know thyself. Spend time getting to understand yourself, understand what connects you to the music, what is your unique story to tell, what is your unique perspective to share. And allow that to evolve. But the other thing that I would say is, we live in a world where we're constantly being fed this idea that you can do everything yourself as an artist. And there's lots of things that you can do, and you should get used to exploring and testing on your own. But do not underestimate the value of how someone else's mastery can elevate your craft, right? So whether that means working with someone who is passionate about sound engineering, someone who is passionate about mix and masters, right? Recognize that your job as an artist is to write, to perform, to do all there's so many parts to being an artist, but recognize when it makes sense for you to put your craft in the hands of someone who's a master at theirs.
Man, I can't give one jewel, like, but I got multiple jewels to drop. And first and foremost is to study hip hop and to be about hip hop culture, not just about, you know, one element.
Yep.
And if you want to be great, then like you should know about the history and the lineage of what you represent and the culture that you represent. And then I would say, be willing to sacrifice, sacrifice learning, sacrifice your time, go out there and like put in the work. Don't expect it to be given to you. Go out there and get it, like sacrifice. And then the last thing I would say is to not be afraid to face your fears. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay to fail. It's okay to like drop the ball. But face your fears. And walk strong in it. Walk strong in that. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll only get better. You're not gonna get nowhere without like being afraid. And because then you'll hold yourself back. So you gotta like go at it. So those are the three gems that I would drop for people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what helped me the most. And yeah, the rest, it could be about art, it could be about like skills and all that, but like those three things will push you to get all the rest of the things done.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, one time, make some noise for all the ancestors. Yeah, yeah.